Stories are slow declines but quick exits. My name is Osademebi, and every week I will tell you a short story written by a Nigerian writer or author. That's the long and short of it. So without much ado, this week's story is by Sophia Ajibola, and it's titled The Breakup, a Short Story. I think the worst thing you can do is bring someone to their favorite place to break up with them. I finally say, and I'm proud of myself that I actually managed to get something sensible out of the gibberish in my head. Larry looks at me like I am the crazy one. I am not the one who jumped in the middle of a lovely picnic with my significant other, like my pants were on fire, to trip over my words in my haste to end things with them. The scene from 5 minutes earlier replays itself in my mind. I was saying something inane about the weather when Larry jumped to his feet at the speed of light.
I just can't do this anymore. I don't think this is working. I think we should break up.
He spat, as if there was hot potato in his mouth he had to get out. Obviously, this was something that had been on his mind for a while. At first, I was too stunned to even process what was happening. But now, his mannerisms, his rush, like he'd checked out for a while and was tired of waiting for me to catch up, was pissing me off.
That's all you have to say?
He stares at me incredulous. A sound bursts out of me. It's supposed to be a laugh, but it actually sounds like a choked puppy's bark. I mean, you could have said this while we were at my house and I was fucking cheerfully packing stupid food for us into this stupid basket. No, you waited to get to my special spot, then you started tripping over your words like I am a band-aid you just want to rip off and be done with. I shout. I don't know what he was expecting me to do. We were together 2 years. He should know I don't do sad. I do mad. He stares at me and scoffs.
Look, I think I should just leave since you have nothing to say.
He picks his grey Nike sweatshirt from the blanket and turns to leave. What I think is that you should apologize for doing this here. Here that means so much to me. I say to his retreating back, just loud enough for him to hear.
You want me to apologize?
He repeats, turning slowly to stare at me the way one might stare at someone stripping in traffic.
Is that really the most important thing? We just broke up and you're going on about a place.
I recoil like he slapped me. I think you were expecting me to cry and beg because you chose to break up with me. I say, placing emphasis on the you. But you also know me well enough to know I won't do that. And yes, I am pissed because there were a million places you could take me to end things. But you chose to leave a dark stain on the one place you know I have clear memories. If you don't know why that hurts me, then I cannot believe we did 2 years together. He swallows and nods.
It wasn't like I planned this. I've just been thinking about it recently. And the more I thought about this, the more I just wanted to get it out. Then we were here having polite conversation like strangers. And I just thought, fuck it. I'm tired of this farce.
He meets and holds my eyes, his begging mine to understand. The spot is actually just a clearing at the end of a close. It's not a wonder of the world or a tourist attraction. It's just well-tended grass, and sometimes people come here for picnics. Growing up, this was where my family spent all our weekends. Saturday mornings, we would pile into my dad's car with board games, snacks, and juice and make the short drive. This was a tradition for my family until my mom died from a car accident when I was 15. We were at first too distraught to think about upholding traditions my mom had birthed and fueled. Then, we tried coming once in a while, but it wasn't the same without her. Without her in the passenger seat, ruining the lyrics of all the pop songs from the radio. Without her waking early, playing loud Whitney Houston songs while frying chicken for us. Without her, just without her. Then, because calamity does not just strike once, a year later, while we were at a birthday party, our house, with all its connections to my mom, burned to ashes. This place became the only place I could connect with my mom. I came here to borrow some of her lingering happiness when I was down, to reminisce on the good old days, to feel close to her, to just be. And now, apparently, to be the recipient of a breakup. Is there someone else? There is someone else. Who am I kidding? It's the only reason he had broken up with me. I don't ask this question out of jealousy. I ask as confirmation to myself that I know him. He shuts his eyes for a second, as if he's surprised I've caught him. Then he smiles. A wry smile because he knows me and I know him.
Yes,
He admits.
but you know I never cheated on you. I would never do such a thing. But yes, there is someone I'm interested in.
I nod slowly, taking it in. I suppose I am either taking this breakup horribly well or badly. On the one hand, I am not crying or screaming, but my mind seems to want to latch on all the peripherals of the reason we're both standing bare feet, staring solemnly at each other. Me on my sister's hand-knitted spread, him on the damp grass.
Look, I just don't want you to think I am breaking up with you because of someone else. She's not the reason.
Of course, this nameless she is the reason we're here right now. I know, Larry. One thing we have in common is that we are both resistant to change. We both had a lot of changes hit us really hard and fast while growing up. Our motto now is, the familiar good is preferable to the unknown better. Larry would have been perfectly content, or at least open to managing our familiar good, if he had not met his unknown better.
I have just been thinking a lot. And I feel like our relationship ended a long time ago. The passion to be together, to be with each other, it had fizzled out and we were just hanging on to comfort. This is true.
Our relationship, which was never passionate by the way, ended 6 months ago when we had a huge fight. He called me a cold fish, and I called him a boring know-it-all grandpa. It wasn't our hurtful words thrown in anger over an issue I don't even remember that broke our relationship. It was the fact that we went 2 months in a cold war. The fact we were comfortable as two people in a loving relationship to go 2 months without contact. We reconciled when we had to go as a couple for a friend's wedding. There were no apologies, no explanations. I texted him to ask if we were going together. He responded, together. And our relationship was fixed. Why did our passion run out? I guess I'll never know. I suppose sometimes you just fall out of love. Not in one day, For us, it was a slow process. If I missed his calls, I'd call him the next day. We hadn't seen in a week? No problem. When the most beautiful things about your relationship eventually elicit no reaction from you. He nods, and I nod too. There is nothing more to say or add. Neither of us is really surprised things have ended. It's just disheartening to think of 2 years of being with someone in every way possible ending like this. In some sort of relief. Tomorrow, I'd probably panic and be confused as to how to navigate this change. But right now, in this moment, I am mildly relieved we don't have to continue this facade. That he took the decision from me because I would never have made it. I stare at him, my boyfriend, my ex-boyfriend, and I nod because I understand. I think I see relief in his eyes too. Relief that I'm not being a drama queen. Relief that he was not the only one on feeling all the feelings that brought us together. Relief that, without writing each other, we somehow arrived at the same page. The end of our story. This breakup conversation has only taken about 15 minutes, but I have gone through over a decade in my mind. And it's fine. I'll be fine. This Taylor Swift lyric comes to mind. There'll be happiness after you, but there was happiness because of you. Both of these things can be true. I haven't said anything in response to all he said, but he can sense my agreement. He looks down at the spread on the blanket and scratches his head.
Do you want to pack this up and I'll drop you off?
He asks. No. I'll just stay here for a while. Then I'll call an Uber. I reply politely. He nods. At this point, we're both lizards in human form, with all the head bobbing we've been doing. I expect him to leave. Still, he hesitates. He starts, pauses, and restarts.
Do you think we can still be friends?
2 years of coupling, and now, just friends. I say, sure, a little too eagerly for it to be sincere. I don't think we can just change our contacts from my love to bestie. But maybe with time we can be more than cordial. More than this ridiculous, awkward mixture of polite and shy formality we find ourselves in. We can be just friends.
You understand, right?
He asks. So maybe he couldn't sense my agreement after all. I do. And in this moment, I really do. Maybe tomorrow I won't. His relief is evident. His shoulders drop visibly and he releases pent-up air in a rushed breath. I am reminded of why I stayed when I should have left. He's a nice guy, and you can do worse. A lot worse than a nice guy.
Okay then. Bye.
He waves a little wave, which I return. I am struck again by what our relationship has been reduced to in a matter of minutes. A stranger's wave. Not even a hug from the one person most familiar to me. I watch him walk away. Sophia Ajibola is a writer who resides in Ibadan, Oyo State. She is currently a student studying computer science at university. You can read more of her work on Medium at Sophia Ajibola. Details and links will be in the episode description. If you've got a story you would like to be featured on this podcast, or a published book you want to make into an audiobook, I would love to hear from you. Send an email to info@osadumebi.com or send me a message at Osadumebi on either Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, or X. I look forward to collaborating with you. And if you've enjoyed this week's episode, please subscribe, leave a review, and share this episode with that one person you know will enjoy listening. Tell them that stories are a good escape for a few minutes each week.